let's get into our topics for
I
tonight.
thought you were gonna fucking pull a Keemstar. Let's get right into the news. I was like, can stop. This show's canceled if you do that.
Okay. Well, since we have your Labo out, Greg, and since I'm gonna talk about it right now. Um,
Apparently, the audio is loud on some part of the show.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of the videos. Um, so as I was saying, yes. So we got the Nintendo Labos. We see Bill and I here showing it off. So Greg, you have the Labo in your hands. You have played around with it. What
Yeah,
are your full thoughts on it?
it's a fun toy. It's not like super. It's not durable enough for children. Like, if you have a kid that's kind of destructive, like don't do it because it's kind of a heavy thing. But um, there's a lot of little fun toys. I'll actually go back here so I can kind of show you. But if you go to the main menu here, which you can hear the nice music, there's the make section, and there's an RC car, which is basically the way that works is the two Joy Cons go to the side of it, and then they vibrate the little cardboard piece across the table. But they vibrate at just the right frequency to make it move forward. There's a fishing rod game, which is kind of interesting because there's two components to the fishing rod thing. Also, I'm sure you can hear that dog barking in the back. So there's the fishing pole itself, and that has the most mechanics in it because it the handle has the red Joy-Con, and the reel itself has the blue Joy-Con stuck in it. So the red one is feeling the typical pull left and right that you would have with a fishing pole, and the reel is understanding which direction you're moving and the speed in which you're moving. But the bottom part actually houses the switch on the side, like sideways or vertical, I should say, and inside that little thing that the switch sits on is a little spool that's attached to rubber bands, so you feel like a bit of a tug when you are reeling in and whatnot. But it's there. It's nothing more than for show. The house is just a fun little game. So like I started up the house, which is right here. I don't know if I'm on camera or not, but
You are. You're on camera.
So what makes the house fun is the switch sits in here on the house. Actually, I'll go to play on this. So if I go to house, it'll start up. And I don't know if you can see it, but I gotta put the red Joy-Con in. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll just go back. But the idea is that you'll have three of these pieces. One's a crank, one's a button, and one's a key. Depending on which one you put inside, will activate something in the game. If you put two in, it activates a mini game. And so there are, like, each combination of two of the things will create a mini game, which is kind of cool. You can feed it jelly beans or take all of the pieces to take all the pieces to an oven and create a cupcake for the thing. Then it changes its pattern. Like, there's a little monster in the house. I don't know. It's a fun little game, but it's nothing more than just a toy at that point for the house. The motorbike is an actual game. Oh, and I have that right here. So the switch sits in here, and then you basically rest it on your stomach like this, and you steer, and you go forward by pulling this back. This is brake. I don't remember what these buttons do, but they do something. But yeah, that's super fun because if you pull back like this, you'll pop a wheelie. Tilting like this will make you kind of turn, but this also makes you turn. So it's fully mechanical in that regard. That's probably the most game thing in it. But then, of course, you have the keyboard. This thing is incredible because the way that it works, the way that all of this works, is oh shit, what happened there? I wish I could show it to you with my camera. Essentially, the Wii remote, the red one, has a little IR camera on the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this IR camera will pick up IR like sticky tape. And you can't use any other reflective surface because other reflective surfaces bounce images back, but this, like that sticky tape to the IR camera, bounces it back into it. So it kind of reads it. So every key on the keyboard has a piece of tape. There are knobs you can add in that have different layers of tape or different thicknesses to tell it which knob you're using. But it's mostly like mechanical shit in a program. Like, it's really clever how they made it. I don't know what else to say because it's unique in the way that it functions and the way that it works. But the thing about the game itself, the program. So right here you have make, and this is where you'll have like, it'll guide you through each step. It'll tell you exactly which sheet you need to have, which is like, you know, there's a number of them, A through something else. It'll be like, hey, pick up A sheet and tear out this exact thing. And you just pop it out, and then you pop out whatever you need, and then it'll guide you through building it, much like a Lego set would do, but you know, on your TV or on the Switch itself. So after you've built everything, you can go to play, and play will have you play with the RC car, do the fishing game, the house, the motorcycle, or piano. You can also create your own thing via the Toy-Con garage, which is kind of cool. And that's basically just like, if I swipe the blue controller, the red controller vibrates, shit like that, you know?
Right.
However, the whole game has this place called Discover. And each of these books has a number of little conversations between three characters and yourself, teaching you the intricacies of the fucking of the Labo itself. So let's say you're like, I like to know how the RC car works, right? You bring this up, and then, whoops, let me do that. And you're like, RC car basics. And then this character will talk to you, and you respond, and there's little videos and whatnot. And it's pretty neat. Like, it basically teaches you exactly how they function, how the IR camera works, how the whole system runs. It basically teaches you that. And I thought that was really clever. You know, for a kid who's maybe wanting to be an engineer,
Yeah.
like it allows them to do that.
Definitely. That's one of the things that I recognized when they announced that. Was like for young people who want for people who are kids who really want to get engineering. Like, this is a good way to start because there are a lot of toys or a lot kits that people can buy that are specifically made for young engineers to kind of pull together and pull apart. This is another version of that, but like a step above that. Nintendo, what they've created, something that's not only can you use
like within that Discover thing, Anthony, they encourage you to think outside the box with the Toy-Con garage and create your own toys. Like, they full on are like we want you to get crazy with it. We want you to make like it's really, really cool. The only problem I have, the only downside, is they don't supply you with enough extra material to do what you want. Like, you literally have to go and buy reflective tape. You have to go and buy more like cardboard or whatever you need to build your thing. Some people are talking about building their entire Labo sets out of plastic or even wood, for that matter. And I think that could totally work, but there's a lot of issues that could come from that too. So I think that that's a big issue. But yeah, man, I mean, with the HD rumble, with its frequencies, it like even teaches you how that works.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
One little tiny Easter egg that I thought was really cool was there's a moment in the Discover thing where they teach you, where they want to show you what inside the Joy-Con looks like. So they have two representations on screen, and if you know, wherever you turn the Joy-Con, like there's a like the guts of it represented on screen, so you can turn it wherever you want. But if you also have a mode, like you're doing the build mode, and the Joy-Con is sitting on the screen in the build mode, you can move the camera around, and if you move the camera inside the Joy-Con, they programmed the guts all the way inside, even though you can't see them.
Nice. That's awesome. So I would figure that this is highly recommended then for anybody who.
No.
Really?
This is a high recommendation for anybody who just wants to do something unique with their Switch. The problem that a big problem that comes with this, I now have 5 things on a shelf.
It
takes up room.
I see. It's that whole not Guitar Hero. What was the other one?
Rock Band?
Yeah, the whole Rock Band problem where you got several plastic instruments in your house at one time.
The other issue that I see is that, like, let's say I want to play the fishing game, right? And I go to the extent of like competing with a friend who can catch the biggest fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we both play for a while, and all of a sudden, one of the rubber bands broke, or we've turned the crank too much, and now like part of it snapped or something like that. The Discovery thing goes, oh, you can fix it, you can totally fix it, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But if you go to the Nintendo website, you can replace it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, that's fine and dandy and all, and a lot of it is like really well made to not break super easily, but if you play with any of this stuff enough, you'll break it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's the ingenious plan underneath it all, is where these products may be fun to play with, but when they break, guess who you gotta call when you gotta get a new replacement? Nintendo.
Well, on the upside to having to replace stuff by buying it from Nintendo, the replacement stuff costs between $6 to $20, depending on what you need to replace.
Okay, so pretty cheap.
So it's not going to break the bank. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's also because it's cardboard, and they showed this in the trailer. It's super customizable. There's even a whole sheet of like stencils and roof tilings and shit like that you can make, so that way your Labo stuff has a unique flair to it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that has been Greg's thoughts on the Nintendo Labo. So, yeah. All right.